Well, for me, folks, this Obamacare ruling by the Supreme Court is the last straw. It's the last straw. And the sabotage and the dishonesty by the Chief Justice is the last straw. We just can't rely anymore on one person to save us or save the country. It's not the way it was supposed to be, and it's not the way it should be. Such is now the necessity which constrains them to alter their former systems of government. Well, like you, I cherish the Constitution. I have studied the Constitution since I was 13 years old. I'm 54 now. I revere it. You revere it. But look what they've done to it. They use it against itself. They use it against us. They change it. They play with it. They don't even wait to amend it. They amend it themselves. Congress amends it without going through the amendment process. The president, through his imperial actions, he's amending it without going through the amendment process. The court amends it, and in each time, every case, we lose more and more of our liberty. These people lack integrity. They lack virtue. And, of course, they lack prudence. And the American people deserve better than this. So I will have a number of suggestions over time, but let me start with this. And I mentioned this briefly the other day. The President of the United States is term limited, as you well know. Well, the other two branches need to be term limited too. And I've written about the need to term limit Supreme Court justices. When I wrote that in Men in Black, some professors also picked up the ball and made a similar argument. But I am convinced now more than ever that we cannot sit around praying and hoping that one justice will do the right thing. Our government shouldn't be left to that. Our freedom shouldn't be left to that. And John Roberts is not a king. He's one of 312 million Americans. 9 justices. They're human beings. They're imperfect human beings, just like us. Their judgment is as wise and as flawed as ours. They're no wiser or dumber than the rest of us. The reason they're there is quite simple. It's to faithfully uphold the Constitution. If they're going to sit there like masterminds, 5 of them, sometimes 6 of them, and issue edicts to impose their personal policy preferences, that's no longer acceptable. And they've been doing it now for 100 years. I think we should fix the number of Supreme Court justices at 9. As you know, the Constitution doesn't have a fixed number. They should have staggered terms. This would have to be implemented gradually, but we need a constitutional amendment, of course. And by the way, we need systemic changes to reestablish our constitutional republic. What I'm suggesting is in response to those who are destroying the Constitution in order to help strengthen the very foundation of that document. 2 appointees every 4 years. And I'm borrowing these thoughts from Professors Calabresi and Lindgren. I believe they shouldn't serve more than 15-year terms. And after that, they're done. If a justice dies during the course of the 15 years, then a president can nominate an individual to finish that term. 15 years. 9 justices, staggered terms. That means a president, if he serves for 4 years, gets 2 picks. If he serves for 8 years, he gets 4. I also believe we need to term limit Congress. 12 years in the House, maximum. 12 years in the Senate, maximum. And the Senate needs to change, too. I'll get back on this when we come back.